Good morning all. We would like to give our customers a COVID update from Xperience. However, we're using a different format to normal, a podcast. My name is David Curtis and I'm here with our Managing Director, Ian O'Kane. Hello, Ian.
Good morning, David. Good morning, everyone.
So, Ian, tell me about your thoughts so far in terms of this year.
Well, this year certainly has been a very different year, David. I think whenever we're reading the history books and look back, it'll be a tale of ingenuity, adaptiveness and resilience. I know certainly from an Xperience point of view, we started the year ready to kick off with our 3-year strategic plan, which took us from 2020 to 2022. Come towards the end of March, end of Q1, it was all change, and we had to create a very different plan and execute it very quickly. It took us to a whole new place, a new way of thinking, but throughout our thoughts, we had to keep our people and our clients at the centre of everything that we were doing.
Wonderful. And can you recall the timeline of events?
Vividly.
Sure.
I think I went into our boardroom on the 16th of March. Our directors and shareholders were in the boardroom on the 17th of March, and by close of business on the 18th of March, we had moved all of our people to remote working. So as one of my colleagues says, we went from having 3 locations across the UK to nearly 100. Within that time, then the following week, the 23rd of March, we were creating emergency budgets. And we implemented daily and weekly briefings, which still exist to this day, David.
Brilliant. And I guess 2020 certainly won't be forgotten easily, will it?
Absolutely not.
What are the steps and actions that we have taken to help us during this situation, and what do you think will help our clients?
I think sometimes people, we're very fortunate to function within the IT sector, and that's first and foremost. When it came to preparing and implementing a plan, our plan really started a couple of years ago. Those that know us will appreciate that we grew by acquisition, and we had started to consolidate and review our systems a few years ago. We were in the final stages of systems consolidation, but certainly COVID-19 has accelerated that in a few areas. From a client perspective, I think remote working isn't just simply a matter of giving someone a laptop and saying they've got access to email. There's so many things that you've got to think about, such as the bandwidth, security, and the remote access of any on-premise systems. I mean, going back to my first point to say we were very fortunate that we are an IT company. We have resources, but we still had to move 70% of our office-based staff to home working, and we also had to ensure that we were able to meet the demands of our clients, because ultimately they were experiencing the same problems and didn't have in-house resource. And that's something moving forward. I think that demand on professional services and product and solutions will increase over the coming months and years.
So are you saying that you believe the tech industry would not be able to cope if organisations, say en masse, want to digitally transform at the same time?
I think so. We did experience a few issues with product availability when it came to laptops or general hardware. Software, not so much. I mean, software is so much SaaS based now, and it's licensing, etc. But the expertise and professional services are going to be in high demand, and there is a finite resource. We serve a very diverse client base. We've somewhere in the region of 1,000 contracted clients, and they all have different needs and different levels of complexity. So we want to make sure we help as many, if not all, of those clients. But planning is important from the client side as well as from our side.
Yeah, good point. And what trends are you seeing from our customers? Have customer requirements changed over this period at all?
I think, if we look at our 4 pillars, ERP, CRM, Managed IT and Cloud, certainly on ERP and CRM, remote access and the sharing of information is massively important. Better management reporting and business intelligence is coming to the fore. MIT, people are moving in a greater mass, if you like, from on-premise to cloud networks. And certainly, at the fore of everything would be Microsoft Teams for collaboration, and there are many other products, I guess, that have come to the fore. But as a Microsoft partner, we do see Teams as being very important in our product stack.
The only thing I guess I'd add to that is that, in my experience, I've noticed businesses are no longer putting up with working in siloed data sets. They're looking for that single pane of glass across CRM, ERP, and widely used Microsoft 365 apps such as Outlook and Teams.
Yeah, and if you go back to one of your previous questions, David, about our consolidation, through our acquisition phase, we probably ended up with 3 ERP systems, 2 CRM systems, and 2 help desk systems and a time management system. So consolidation, and you've used a very good term, single pane of glass. Absolutely agree.
Another question for you: is there anything else on the horizon that you think we as a business need to watch out for?
Heading into risky territory here, David.
I am.
I mean, obviously, we continue to monitor and absorb the information that's coming from government and health officials on COVID-19. We are obviously mindful of further measures that have been brought in. We would be concerned about a second wave coming. Brexit is coming back as front and centre, but I think the key thing for us is to try and plan for the scenarios that we've identified and ensure that we react, with ingenuity, adaptiveness, and resilience.
So, what are the plans for the business moving forwards?
Well, I suppose operationally, we've been asked about returning to our offices in Lisbon, Peterborough, and Glasgow. I mean, we would have liked that to have happened sooner rather than later, but as I've mentioned before, we have to monitor, the government advice and that of the health officials as well. I did read a recent survey from Aviva. They surveyed approximately 2,000 workers, and 50% of workers are looking forward or in favour of a return to their workplaces, but only if the conditions are right.
Yeah, quite. I mean, I know we undertook our own employee survey to gather feedback over the lockdown period too.
Absolutely, and feedback from our people and my colleagues, our colleagues, was massively important. The feedback came in, and the vast majority of our people had adjusted well to working from home. We didn't see any deterioration in productivity, but we actually did see an improvement, which seems to be the general reporting in the marketplace. Our colleagues did report that their colleagues were more accessible and collaboration has improved. But unsurprisingly, the big thing which our people are missing is social interaction. Those water cooler moments, or those moments where you're walking past someone's desk and you maybe have an impromptu conversation about a client or about a solution. I think that social interaction piece is missing.
Yeah, very much so. One final question before we close in. What do you think the next 6 months will bring?
Wow, you gave me two difficult ones to finish with, David. Again, I've been trying to absorb myself in expert opinion. I'm by no means an expert, so I know when to stop talking about something. I think the economic recovery is going to be very interesting. I read a piece from Reuters, and I believe there are possibly 4 types of recoveries: a V recession, a U, a W, and an L recovery. I am not an expert, but I would encourage people to have a look at that piece and see what it means for their business. Furlough is coming to an end at the end of October, and I think that will certainly give us a temperature check for how the economy will recover. I've mentioned Brexit before, but certainly we will continue to work proactively with our clients and really push forward with our own digital transformation journey, because I think it is a matter of continual improvement in a bid to provide better service to your clients, but also be more efficient in how we do things, David.
Thank you. A couple of things I'd like to add on that point. We will continue to share our knowledge with our customers and are currently planning a number of educational podcasts that we'll be releasing over the next few months. So please, everyone, do look out for them. Finally, we have a very strong and resilient client base, many of whom have been with us for 10 years plus, which means we have all come through challenging times together. And I'd like to take this opportunity to thank you for your continued support. Thank you for listening. If you have any questions or queries, please do not hesitate to contact myself or your client account manager, who will be more than happy to help. All the best, everyone.
Thanks, David.
Thank you.